What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and I got a quick question for you. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is more important at this time? There are two main priorities that are on the table, and the first is federal level stimulus checks to go out to everybody in the nation. We've recently heard proposed $1,000 fourth federal level checks to go out to help out with our domestic economic issues. And second is providing more support to Ukraine as they're dealing with this war, having attacks happening in Russia, and we're hearing it's intensifying, and we're hearing that Congress wants to send out $40 billion. Now, it was stalled, it's back on track, and we're hearing they're likely going to be passing it this week. Now, which of these two, in your opinion, should be prioritized if you had to pick one? Now, maybe funding for both should go out, maybe funding for neither, but if you had to pick one, which would it be? Well, according to Senator Joe Manchin, right now the top priority is sending out funding to Ukraine, and I'm going to give you all the reasons why he's saying that. Let me know your thoughts. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, take a look at the headlines coming out, you guys. Senator Joe Manchin says that he wants to help Ukraine defeat Russia before taking on Biden's economic agenda. So he's saying, yes, let's do both. And we've heard that he is open to negotiations, but he said, first, let's send money out to Ukraine. Then after that, we will talk stimulus, economic issues, and we've heard stimulus checks are back on the table, both for federal level checks and also for gas stimulus checks, reoccurring checks. Take a look, you guys. In West Virginia, the clean energy transition rests on Joe Manchin, as the way the Senate is structured with the 50-50 Senate, Democrats, in order to pass something through with a majority vote known as reconciliation, they will need every single senator on board, and just one could stop all of their legislation. And right now, that one is Senator Joe Manchin. Now, because of that, and because he has stalled several bills and legislation from going through because he's concerned about debt and inflation and the state of our economy, we've heard him called a sabotager. Take a look at this. Manchin and Sinema sabotaged Biden's plan, Sanders says. And he said, I think that the pressure has got to be put on the people of West Virginia and Arizona for these two senators. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Vocalizing disapproval from members of his own party against Senator Joe Manchin. Now, we did hear that that bill that was stalled by Senator Rand Paul, that it actually has gone through and is back on track in the Senate. Senate advances the $40 billion Ukrainian aid package, and that it's likely going to be getting passed this week. Now, so that means if Senator Joe Manchin is willing to discuss economic issues after Ukrainian aid, well, then this going through could mean more domestic spending and funding for Americans. And one of the topics that has been brought to the table, take a look, you guys, just in the past couple days, stimulus check update, Representative urges for $1,000 for every American over Ukrainian aid, saying, you know what, instead of sending that Ukrainian funding of $40 billion, let's take that money and send out $1,000 stimulus checks to everybody in the nation. And a lot of people are getting behind this, saying this is a good idea. We need stimulus checks. However, the only thing is $40 billion only covers about a tenth of if we were to send out $1,000 checks. We're hearing that the cost would be somewhere around $330 billion for a fourth federal level check. However, we're also hearing that that only accounts for a very small amount of the inflation that's being caused. And I'm going to get into all the details of what Senator Joe Manchin and economists are saying about the inflation, the increased gas prices and food prices, and what we're experiencing. So you guys, we're going to be diving into all the details. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. And again, let me know your thoughts. What should be the primary focus here? Domestic economic funding, stimulus checks, child tax credits, things to help us out here in the United States, or sending over money to Ukraine? We're going to get into all the details here in just a second. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Now, also wanted to mention, consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finances. We're hearing that upon the horizon, things are not looking good for our economy. And if you're somebody that's interested in taking control of your financial situation and learning about stocks, real estate, crypto, starting a business, changing your life financially, I have created that channel. I hope it's a blessing to you. I'm going to put a link down below in the comments. Click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. I pray that it is a blessing for you. It's financial advice that I have received over the years from multimillionaires that has helped me, and I pray that it is a blessing to you as well. But let's go ahead and dive into these updates as to what's going on here in our economy with stimulus, Joe Manchin, and Ukraine. Now, before we do, also, don't forget to do me a quick favor. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. It's free. Why not? Come join. I'll keep you up to date. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. Just hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. All right, so link in the description below to this article from Business Insider that just came out yesterday, and it reads, Senator Joe Manchin's chief priority above all else for right now is helping out Ukraine win its war against Russia. It may throw President Joe Biden's stalled economic agenda even further down the to-do list, with time running out for Democrats to take it up before the midterm campaigns starting in earnest. And as you guys know, yes, this is a midterm election year, which means seats in the House and the Senate are up for grabs. And right now, Democrats, they're in control of the House. It's a 50-50 split in the Senate. But what we've seen historically is that if the American people are not happy with the party that's in full control in midterm elections, it's very likely that the other party that's in the minority will take seats back and will take control of Congress. So we're hearing it's very likely the Senate and the House could flip to the Republican Party, and then we'll have a Republican Congress with a sitting Democratic president, which means any agenda items that Biden has, it's very likely that they will get stalled in Congress even further for the second half of his presidency, setting things up very nicely for an opposing Republican candidate for presidency. Now, we will see, you guys. I will keep you up to date, but we're hearing that that means that Democrats, they've got to get things done right now if they're going to be convincing voters to keep them in power. Now, reading on, Manchin said, we're in a much different part of the world right now with the turmoil that we have. Right now is how do we get Ukraine and make sure that Ukraine wins this war. Now, the conservative Democrat said that he wanted to secure final passage of a $40 billion financial and humanitarian aid package for Ukraine. We should be going what we call pedal to the metal back home in West Virginia as hard as we can do to help Ukraine, he said. We should be doing everything that we can to make sure that Ukraine can secure their country, and then we should all be gathering together in a Marshall Plan to help rebuild. Now, he repeated familiar demands about using reconciliation as a way to pay down the growing federal debt and to get our financial house in order. Reconciliation is the procedure that Democrats employed to circumvent the united GOP opposition, but it requires that the party march in lockstep in a 50-50 Senate. As we mentioned, the way it's structured right now, they must have unification amongst their party. Now, the White House didn't immediately respond to a request for a comment, but last year, Manchin often threw cold water on the emerging Build Back Better legislation as it made its way through Congress. He raised other problems that he felt lawmakers should deal with first, such as the chaotic American withdrawal from Afghanistan and the ongoing pandemic and the worsening of inflation. He ultimately sank the bill in late December, and Democrats have not been able to revive a smaller social and climate spending package since then. And without his vote, their economic agenda is stalled in the upper chambers. And we will see, as he said, he is open to renegotiating a smaller package. But first, he wants to address the issue with Ukraine. Now, why is that? Well, if you missed my last video from Yahoo Finance, you might want to check it out. We've been getting updates from economists that are saying that right now we have a 41-year high of inflation. Food prices and gas prices are at an all-time high. We have never seen them this high before. And what they're saying is that about 2/3 of the inflation that we're currently experiencing are due to everything that's happening with Russia and Ukraine. And they're saying that that is because the oil exports are not coming into the United States. They're not going to California, the United Kingdom, and the prices of oil are going up, and so is gas, which is causing anything that needs to be transported to go up in price as well. So the cost of food and goods and all of these items are all going up. And also, Ukraine provides about 1/10 of the world's wheat supply, and that is all stored up right now, literally millions of tons just sitting there, unable to be accessed. So that is causing food to go up in price. And they're saying that if we can address this war, help Ukraine overcome Russia and get this done with, that could stop and ease a lot of this inflation pressure. Just that alone. However, at the same time, we're feeling this pressure right now. It's hitting us here in our country, and a lot of people are saying, well, we need stimulus to help us get through this time until that subsides. Now, nobody knows how long this is going to be taking. As a matter of fact, it seems like the war with Russia is intensifying, and we're seeing signs that it might go out even further. So what would be the main thing? Trying to stop the source of the issue, stop the war, or give aid to help us while it continues? So that is the reason why Senator Joe Manchin is saying, let us focus on the war, because if we can end that, it will stop a lot of the inflationary pressures that we're experiencing. Now, in addition to that, if we send out more spending, it's going to worsen the inflation issue, but we're hearing that the amount of increase due to spending domestically is so small and so insignificant that a lot of economists are saying, send out the spending, send out the stimulus. Now, we've also heard a lot of conservatives, though, saying, we don't need to add any fuel to the fire. Stop the spending and only focus on the war. So those are the perspectives right now. So just wanted to share with you the two different thoughts on this. Let me know your thinking. Do you think we should send out checks, send out more aid to Ukraine to help with the war in Russia? Do both? Do neither? Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but that is where things currently stand. We're hearing Senator Joe Manchin is saying he's on board, but first, he wants to deal with Ukraine. So there you have it, you guys. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as more information rolls out on everything going on, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date on everything going on, I will keep you up to speed totally free. So why not come join the Ram fam? Just smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, how to start making your own stimulus checks since the federal government seems to be delayed on theirs. You guys, I'll pin a comment down below. You can click that link, go subscribe. I'm going to be providing more content on growing businesses, investing in real estate, stocks, and changing your life for you and your family financially. We need all the help we can get right now. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.